Hey, new Marshall. Just getting everything kind of set up here. So, BMC, welcome. Ron Bears, Happy New Year. All right, now I think I have it. I don't know why it wasn't showing up for me. There we go. Now I think I've got it. I figured I'd do a box of quarters. So hopefully that would be nice to get a 39 VMC, but if you want to change it, you're welcome to. Hey, welcome, Captain Vic. 60, okay. I figured you'd probably want to, because usually we do nickels, but you know. Good to see you, Lisa. Just getting everybody's things written down here. Captain Vic, 65. So I'm doing quarters today. If you want to guess a year and everything, Lisa, you're welcome to. Mountain Dew 67, and hope you're too high. Well, it's not April 20th yet, but I think I know what you mean. Yeah, hopefully it's too high, and the original one with VMC originally put for a nickel was correct, hopefully, with a 39. YouTube has a thing where you can do kind of a dual stream, and hopefully it shows up and does everything correct. This is a 63. And it's not a late night pop-up, but it doesn't have to be late to pop up. I went and picked up 2 boxes of halves from the bank, and they were 2024s. So, hey, afternoon, JC. So I was looking, and some of them were selling, like, lots of 5 and stuff on eBay. So I was like, yeah, I'll try doing them. So I figured I'd list lots of them instead of whole boxes. When they said, do you want these? And they looked brand new, I was like, yeah. Because I've sold the last 6 boxes I've gotten. And I do already have a drink out, so. Perfect Finds, hello. Dr. Pepper Cream Soda 39. We are doing quarters, so if you want to change that, you're welcome to. But we are doing quarters today. Perfect says Mountain Dews. Kathy Keith, welcome. Michael Martin, welcome. Kathy says Pepsi Zero. And we are doing quarters today. JC says change 65. Okay. So if you're new, you can guess what drink you think I'm drinking and what the oldest coin in the box of quarters that we have. It can be foreign or US, but whoever gets closest can get their name on the wheel of names. And if anybody sees Steve Wolf from the other night, he hasn't emailed me yet. Privet says 62. Lisa Anderson says Pepsi Zero. Michael Martin says Sprite Zero. Found a nickel box this morning, 29 finds. Wow, very nice. Last one for New Marshalls was pretty good. What was it? 4 from the 24s, 309s, bunch of stuff. Wild says Pepsi Zero or Pepsi Cherry Zero. And we are doing quarters today, so if not sure if you saw that at the top of the finds. You are welcome to change that if you want. I would love to find a 39 or a 41, but Wild says change it to a 51. Okay. Michael Martin says 1964. Now, I'd love to find some of these because I have never found a silver quarter in a quarter box. Wild is, 41. No, 51. Yeah. Oh, Michael Martin was the one I was trying to find. Excuse me. And Happy New Year's to everybody. Today's the day, yes, hopefully. And I'll just put this out there. If we do find a silver quarter, I will give away one of my 5-ounce rounds. And these are my new updated list. All the ones in gray I haven't received yet. So just a few. 324s, 425s, 209s, 2 Canadians. Very, very nice. 5-ounce gold round, yeah. Lisa, yes, I got your 63. I figured since it was just kind of a popped up late notice to give everybody a little bit of time to kind of come in and get guesses and stuff. Yes. So being a new year, hopefully we'll get some silver. I did print out a thing of my live hunts and personal hunts. So we were only able to do 3 pennies, and out of those 3 boxes we found 25 Wheaties, 5 foreign, 1 from the 10s, 1 from the 30s, 7 from the 40s, 16 from the 50s, and 2 miscellaneous. So you can see those averages. And on nickels, for the live subscriber hunts, we did 21 boxes, found 10 buffaloes, 12 war, 19 foreign, 23 non-buffalo from the 30s, 118 non-war from the 40s, 173 from the 50s, 2 proofs, 45 09s, and 11 24s, and 5 miscellaneous. So, not too bad. About an average of 19 there. My personal hunts, my dimes did absolutely horrible. I only did 15 boxes, but I only found 2 silvers, 1 foreign. Usually I find 1 foreign about every box and a silver every 2. But my quarters, I did 6 foreign, 7 proofs, 10 W's, and 3 miscellaneous. I know one of them was a colorized. So, not too bad. And then on my silvers, I averaged 0.8 is what I ended up at the year at. At one point, I was at only 0.4, so that's just some of the numbers I kind of put together. I do have a bunch of 5-ounce rounds that are supposed to be coming, but of course, mail and everything. So, well, I think most people are in here, so it's streaming on my regular horizontal, and YouTube has a thing where they can put it on the vertical also, and it doesn't make it very easy to see. So if you're in the vertical, come on over to the horizontal. Much easier and funner. The games hopefully should be working. I don't know if the chat shows both horizontal and vertical, but yes, it is. It's working. So hopefully it works in the vertical one for people if they play. Nothing jumping out. Some good looking candidates. They're not all brand new looking ends. And we had 2 winners of the drink. Captain Vic and Wild, Pepsi Zero Cherry. I bumped this the other day and it messed everything up. So let's hope for a bounty. Hey, Maple Leaf, welcome. Because I've never found a silver in a box of quarters, and it's a new year, we're having a bounty of one of my 5-ounce copper rounds as a special giveaway if I find a silver. Oh. Just trying to get it back to where it works like I'm just wanting it to. There we go. I think that's better. I saw BH got to 460, something like that. So missed it by just a little bit, but we'll get him there. I had my kids over last night, so we went over to Grandma and Grandpa's and watched, or yeah, had some snacks and some different types of fun foods, and watched a movie, and then we, after the movie, played a few different games, and then we started a different movie, but Grandpa got tired, and then my son was starting to fall asleep, so we came home, and he went to bed, and my daughter stayed up until it was midnight. And then their mom was working a half day today, so after she got off, she came and picked them up. Let's see, it's 69 Denver as a possible DDO. And he's going to go camping with the youth group from his ward at church. So he went and got Grandpa's 0-degree sleeping bag and tent and all that stuff, and because the ones I have is only like a 30-degree or something. And then we'll see about maybe having them on Saturday night, since he will be gone Friday. Just wondering, I think this is a big scratch, but I can't tell. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was raised or not, so I was like, But yeah, it's a big gouge. Would have been cool if it was a crack all the way through it. But yeah, I keep track of all the hunts every live, and like for subscriber and myself, I keep them separate. And so every hunt I update it and keep track of them. But I'm kind of a nerd and like to do spreadsheets for fun. People started fireworks last night at like 8 o'clock. Hey, Gatita, welcome. I don't know if the way the YouTube is doing it where it streams to both, if chat shows up in both places or not, or whatever. But if you are in the vertical, you are more than welcome to come over to the horizontal. It is, yeah, I was bored. My kids just left. Their mom came and picked them up after she got off work, and she only worked a half a day, so she came and just picked them up instead of me taking them back out. Because basically she'd have to go by my place anyway. And I was like, nothing else really to do, so let's not, or why not stream? Normally I'm not on this time because I'm usually at work or something, but today's a little different. This is my box. Since it wasn't like a planned stream or anything like that, I did one of my quarter boxes. And I finally decided to just list my 05 nickels and see what they do. See, that's a 68D, so 68Ds also. 69D, 70. I do have the first hunt of the year for VMC. $1966. It's all beat up, but we'll still look at it. So I've got the 5th, the 8th, and the 12th filled. So I think the next one would be the 15th for an opening. But we'll see. Not 71. 66 has a DDR. And I will do the likes giveaway and everything, so right now it shows 11, which probably means 12. But if we get to 25, 50, etc. The bounty, if I find a silver quarter today, because I've never in my life found a silver quarter in a box. I have the bounty on that, and that is one of my 5-ounce rounds for my copper rounds. So, hopefully, we will do that. But we will see. I will work tomorrow, so and if you're in the live vertical, I don't know if it shows up in chat and stuff on here, but if you come on over to horizontal, you can chat with everybody. I'm trying YouTube's way of doing it, not Streamlabs' way of doing it. But it's one of those things that you can't go and change it. So if it ends up not working very well, I just won't do it next time. And these quarters down here are ones I'm lining up to do scoping on at the end of the row. I've still got 4 boxes. Started raining yesterday. That was nice. We definitely need rain because we're always dry. And it's continued through this morning. It's just a light sprinkle and a drizzle and back to a sprinkle and drizzle, and so it's not like rain, but that's the kind that we need, is the stuff that comes down slow and not dumps in 5 minutes, because around here the ground just cannot soak it up if that happens. So rains like this make it much better for the moisture to stick around. 71. Thought about doing some halves, but if my kids are coming over on Saturday, hopefully, then we might do some halves then, but if we do, maybe we'll stream it. I don't know. I'm now over 2,000 hours, so 2/3 of the way to getting memberships. I'll be right back. Sounds good. Christmas, my kids got me a shirt. There's two gingerbread men with one of them has his leg broke off, and it says, "Have you tried icing it?" They like to get me different shirts like that. So it's like, have you tried icing it? It's kind of like, okay. Oops. So according to my thing on quarters, I average 0.4 foreigns a box, 0.4 proofs a box, and 0.6 W's a box. So I guess we'll see if those keep going that way. Hey, Copper Owl. Just opening a box of quarters for myself. My kids just left, and my mom only worked half a day, so she picked them up, and I was like, what do I do? So I opened a box of quarters. And I'm sure you would really like the bounty today, Copper Owl, because I have never in my life, after all boxes of quarters and stuff of searching, I've never found a silver in a box of quarters. And so I put a bounty out there that if we find a silver quarter, I will give away a 5-ounce copper round. Roll 10. So it's one of those things I really would like to get, not just to find silver, but to be able to find it live and with Coin Family, instead of me just filming it and then posting a recap, which I don't do too much anymore. And I've still got a bunch I need to edit and post, and I've just been busy and focusing on live stream. That'll get me the hours I need. if that works a little better. Somehow it's pushed off to the side a little bit. All right, let's do some scoping. Figure after each row, I'll just scope. Don't know how quarters can bounce out of a bucket when I'm dropping them in. Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't found... Hey, B-Waller. Howdy. I had my kids last night, and we were doing games and movies and stuff, and they just left, so I figured I was kind of bored and open a box of, I was going to say nickels, quarters. I saw you had a live stream, but like I said, it was middle of movies and games and stuff, and so I think that's a scratch. Yeah, that's a scratch. At first I was like, did I get one? Nope. Because you can see it's a double scratch there. And these are for spitting eagles. Never found one. I won one. 66 is a DDR. I've got a few of these. Yeah, if I didn't have my kids and everything, we would have, I should say, watched it, but since I don't have them all the time. Yeah, I know. '68. These are '69s, and these are, or I should say, A69, and it's a D over rotated D, which I don't see. And B-Waller, since I have never found a silver in a box of quarters in my life, I have a bounty on a silver quarter today. If I find one, I'm giving away a 5-ounce copper round. The only time I find silver quarters are in coin returns. And these are 70. There's both GDOs and Rs on a 70. First pick, remember. Awesome. All right, nothing through first 10 rolls. Kathy got a poop bot. We were talking about dogs. I said if they made everybody get a dog, I said, what one would you guys get? I said, I would get a Rottweiler, which is the dog that I was attacked by. And I don't know why I've always liked the look of them. And they're kind of one of those that they're big and mean looking, and they can be very gentle, just like pit bulls. But yeah, I don't know why I choose it, except for I've always liked the look. I guess if you're going to get attacked by a dog, at least get attacked by one that you like. He broke a toe chain off of his neck. He was padlocked around, and he had a staked into his yard. And I was just walking down the road, and not even on his side. And he ended up running at me, busted the toe chain off of his neck, and clomped right where my wallet would have been, but I was wearing just gym shorts. Katita got a nice, very silver certificate. Awesome. Yeah. And so then my daughter said, I'd get a Shih Tzu. And I said, well, I would not visit that zoo. That was when I was about 11 or 12 when I got attacked. Yeah, it took her a second to kind of realize what I had meant, but I did. I was like, I wouldn't want to visit that. '71 has a DDR. We'll scope that at the end of the row. Yeah, I've seen that where people come into the ER with, they were trying to break up a dog fight, and they are the ones getting bitten. Let's see, 66 has a DDR. And here, it's law that if you get bitten by a dog. It doesn't matter whether it's your dog, a neighbor's dog, a random dog, any of that. By law, the hospital has to call the police and have to have a report filed so that they can verify if it's, been a vicious dog before, like attacking people, or also quarantined for rabies. So that is one of those things that people are like, well, I don't need to call him. It was my own dog. It's like, well, sorry, by law, we have to. It's like the only way we don't is if you don't come in. Yeah. And then we have best friends, and we get a lot of dog bites and cat bites up at Best Friends. That's the animal sanctuary. And of course, those are always usually under workers' comp, but we still have to file or call the police. If it's in the city, a police officer comes. If it's in the county, outside the city limits, then a sheriff's deputy comes. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's family dog, a random dog, anything. We have to report it. Just like, if you get gunshots or stab wounds or anything, you have to report those. But usually it's a simple report, because if it's like a family dog, they'll be like, do they have their shots? Have they ever, attacked anybody before? That sort of thing. They're more worried about dogs that don't have shots, or loose, random, wild type dogs that are being a menace, and possibly they have to hunt it down and quarantine it for rabies. I think it's 10 days that you have until you can unquarantine it. We also get a lot of, we go through quite a bit of, hey, David Gertch. Hopefully I said that right. Gersh. Just hunting a box of quarters. My kids had left after spending them last night, and so I was kind of like, what do I do? Do I just want to watch a movie, TV, read? I'm like, nothing's really floating my boat, so I have a whole pile of coins over there in the corner. Figured, do I do halves or quarters? Because I save my nickels for my live streams. Next one coming up is on the 5th for VMC. I should say scheduled live streams, because this is a live stream, but it wasn't scheduled. There's a red painted quarter. That's one of the jukebox ones you can find, but it's an 83. Oh, it's a Denver, so it doesn't matter. But I appreciate everybody who's in here hanging out. Oh. We go through quite a bit of rabies vaccines because a lot of people will try to pet random squirrels and chipmunks because they assume that if they're in the national park, they are like friendly and tamed, and it's not necessarily the case. We also get a lot of people that I don't want to say attacked by bats, but like a bat will fly into them or whatever, and those vaccines are not cheap because you get one that day, and then you come back, I think it's 3 days later, and get the second dose, and then you come back like a week later. And thank you, B-Waller. Lane is great. If you like metal pouring and watching coins and having fun, B-Wallers is a great channel. Type in !me, and it'll throw your link up there so people can go visit if they haven't. Hey, William. And anybody can do that also. !me, no spaces. And if you provide content and want to post your channel link, it automatically does that for you. I can't remember how I came across his, but I like watching his channel when I can actually get around to being able to watch it. Just a dude with a phone. Yeah. You do a good job with just a phone. !we? I don't think that's one. So yeah, thanks for stopping. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I looked at that, but it makes you be in here like 5 minutes before it'll even pop up to give points, and so thank you, New Marshall, for adding points. If you run out of points or needing points or whatever, the ones in blue are the mods, and they can add points without me having to go in and do it. So now you're eligible to play any of the games. If you've come in and you haven't heard, because I have never found a silver quarter in my entire life in a box hunting, I have a bounty today that I will give away one of my 5-ounce rounds if we find a silver quarter. 71 has DDRs. So we'll check those here in a few minutes because I'm 1.5 rolls left in this row. 71. Another 71. I think most people in here have already part of BH Ringer channel, but he's almost getting to 500. Hey, Brian Robinson. I was going to say Brian Bison, but that didn't look right. So he's on his way to the 500. We didn't quite get 500. I put a little extra thing out for him that if we were able to reach 500 by the new year, I would have given a 5-ounce round, and I think it ended when I looked last night at midnight my time, it was 463 or something. But I'll still probably do some kind of giveaway for you. A 1970. I don't think I have one yet. End of row 2, so we'll do all the scoping now. And since BH is in Canada, if you want BH, if whoever wins is good with it, I can just send it directly to them from you. I'll see what I want to throw in, but instead of sending it to you to turn around and send it back, probably to the States. Or I can always send it into with your package, because I think BH has a hunt coming up on the 8th. And it's one of those things that if anybody ever wins anything on my channel, or someone says, do you have their information? Unless they have already told me, it's okay to give it out. I always check with the person first and say, hey, BH wants your information. Can I give it to him? So I never give anything out unless specifically told I am authorized to. Because I do try to keep a list of the wins and addresses and stuff, and for me, I don't care if you give information. I think VMC had asked if it was okay, and I was like, yeah, that's completely fine. I've no problem with it. But yeah, I think you probably got my email. I think it was VMC that was asking about a channel that's having problems sending stuff to Canada, I believe. 1970s have a DDO and DDR. Doubt we'll find one, but hey, you never know. Yeah, I sent a follow-up because I was like, well, maybe if he's just trying to send a coin or two, then, you know, he could do it the way I send them, my copper rounds. And number one, it's cheaper than sending a package, and number two, it's not as scrutinized as a package. Hey, Chris Helms. 66 has a DDR. Let's get it kind of straight. It's weird when sometimes it's upside down or something. It looks weird. Yeah, if anybody sees Steve Wolf from the stream, he was the wheel winner, and I have not seen an email from him yet. $68 is DDR. Hey, you loving live? Welcome. So that's why if you get your name on the wheel, always go back and check the end of the stream to see if you were a winner. Because obviously he left before the wheel spin. Since there's not a lot of stuff to guess, let's do... I don't know if it shows up in the vertical or not, but let's let everybody get a name on the wheel. So if you want to be on the wheel, throw your name. Right now we've only got two, which is Captain Vic and Wild, because they were the winners of the drink of the night. Or day, I guess I should say. And it is Wild Cherry Pepsi. All right, we got BMC, Rob, New Marsh, Copper Owl, JC, Captain Vic. Alrighty. So I added VMC, Brian Robinson, New Marshall, Copper Owl, JC, Cap Vic, Chris Helms, Love and Live, KJ, Emmeline, Willie Me, Kathy Keith, David Wild, and Gatita. So there you go. You guys are now on the wheel. And again, for those, if you leave before the end of the stream, it's fine. You would just have to go back and watch the last part of the wheel spin to see if you win. And then if you are a winner on the wheel, you do need to send me an email, dadhuntscoins@gmail.com, to claim your prize. So like I said, if you see Steve Wolf, let him know he needs to email me. Is that when you do not have to be present to win? So we're getting close to 25 likes. I show 23, which probably means we're at 24, because I'm always one off. Just like the viewers show 19, and on the screen it shows 21. So hit that like button if you haven't, because then we'll do a 25 like giveaway. And Maple Leaf on the wheel, I just put you down as MLN instead of spelling out Maple Leaf Numismatic. So if you see MLN, that is you. Instead of writing everybody's full names and stuff, I just kind of put part of it. Some of them I put a initial, some of them I put a last name, because you know, we get quite a few you know, Mike Williams, things like that, where quite a few people have had the same first part. Because you have Michael Martin, Michael Erickson, you have Michael Rose, Mike Badger, Mike Schleiz. So there's like 5, 6, 7 Mikes that come through. And it depends on the night, because like some nights I'll put Frogman, and other nights I'll put oh. We know it's going to be a 2019 because it does not have the privy above Liberty. Let's see which one we think it is. War in the Pacific. That was roll 23. Let's get that on the board. Whoops. W. And I was showing it earlier, I keep a spreadsheet of all my finds and stuff like that, and I was on quarters, 0.6 W's a box, 0.4 for proofs, and 0.4 for foreign. So thank you everyone. Bellows, Brian, Copper, Chris. So W's are still out there. I know some people say they never find them, but I don't want to say I find them often, but obviously a little more often than never. Because if it was 0.6 finds a box, it means out of 10 boxes you're finding 6. Out of 5 boxes you're finding 3. I've never found 2 W's in a box. I found a W in a proof. I think it was after the end of one of the streams. I'd opened some quarters or something, and that box had a W, a proof, and 2 foreigns. Yeah, it's always one of those things. It's like great when you find one. It's like you always want to hope, like for silver or, you know, W's or whatever, but I never expect it. Whereas if I'm opening a roll of nickels, I'm expecting at least a 40s and 50s. I don't expect 30s, but I like seeing them. You never know. It's one of those, I kind of like it when the back is facing up, when it's one of the years of, you know, 2019 or 2020, because then it's like you flip it over and you know, you're kind of oh, 26 likes, okay. And Love and Life, I'm going to give you some points. As I saw you didn't have any. Exclamation GAW. Get your name on the chance to win. One of my copper rounds. And again, I don't know if the vertical live shows up or not, but if not, come on over to the horizontal, because it does work over there. I figured I'd try out YouTube's way of doing the dual. So I would think that if they're offering it, they'd at least be able to show like a combined chat, like an either, like it shows up in both or something, but no idea. I'm not really liking that way either, because it only shows from here to here. Hey, Roy Hathaway, welcome. So it's one of those that if we do have the games and stuff, but it the program it runs through makes you be in here for 5 minutes before it lets you give any points, I believe it is. I think if you subscribe, it gives you some right away, but can't remember for sure. But I think if I try to do it before, it doesn't even register as being able to be found. Sounds like with Love and Life, I went in and saw they only had 300, so I went in and added 10 million points. We've got, let me resume that real quick. Try it again, David. Give you guys a few more seconds if you didn't get in already. Exclamation GAW. See, we got 1, 2, 3. And what's funny is it actually counted the timer down to 0. Very, very, very rarely does it actually do that. So right now I've got Copper Isle, Gatita, Cap Vic, Love and Life, VMC, New Marshall, Kathy Keith, Bellows Forge, KJ, Roy Hathaway, JC, Emmeline, Jim Thompson, David, William. Anybody else? You got about 5 seconds. 1, 2. That would be a very good thing if they did. All right. You're already in there, Maple Leaf. It only lets you enter once. Winner? Hey, Roy Hathaway. You will need to send me an email to dadhuntscoins@gmail.com. And when you do, I will send you that, and you can choose any of those copper rounds. So the way that is number 1 is the top, underneath it's the back. Number 2 is the front, underneath it's the back, etc. So send me an email, I'll send that to you. And Roy, I'm going to go in and add some points to you. And Mike Biglin, welcome. I'm going to add some points to you. There you go. And at the end of the stream, sometimes I go through the ones I don't have on that sheet. So there are some other ones, but I'm betting we have approved. This one right here. It's thicker edge, and it is nice and shiny. Oh, yeah. That's a nice deep cameo. '15. That thing is like brand new. It's only got a few minor little contact marks, a few little minor scratches on the front. But man, that thing is a deep cameo. I think I'm going to flip that up right now before I get too far gone, if I can. Find my quarter ones. Those are pennies. Oh, I'll have to find some, I guess. I thought I had some quarter ones out. So, yeah, I could tell just from the edge because that thing was a little bit thicker and very shiny. But man, that is deep cameo. Like, that's one that is very noticeable. Yeah, I'm okay. I just bashed my knees all. Basically, I'm wrestling with myself. I know I had nickel flips out. Hey, Michael Rose. That's probably one of the best proofs I've ever seen, like out of a roll. Because the other day, the proof was that one. I mean, you can see it, but it's been beat up and stuff. But that proof is... Speaking of the Wyoming one in proofs, I'll have to show you the one that I got. It's actually one of those that this one, the 07S clad Proof 70 Ultra Cameo, is one that's worth way more than most of them. Most of them are like, $30. This one's like 170 or something. So I got that. So I've got the silver Proof 69 Ultra Cameo and a Proof 70 clad Ultra Cameo. Then I picked up Utah's Proof 70 Ultra Cameo and the silver Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. So that's one that I really wanted. It was like my home state. I found one that's perfect. So why not? And speaking of one, BH had me show this off the other night, and he won that one. A 38D MS66. So that is BHs, but because I'm going to be sending him, he's going to have a hunt done, and I'm already going to be sending a package. He had asked if I could have it sent to me and just include it, so that because he's in Canada, some places don't send outside the US. And I said, absolutely. Yeah, that one's awesome. I love the toning on it and everything. It's just like, whew. Hey, you found your first quarter of the or W of the year? Sweet. Now you just need to find a really nice deep cameo. Then you'll be on par with me. Yeah, it's one of those that when you open the roll, usually you can see them. Like this one, I can tell is not. It's just a regular one. But on some of those, not all of them, but some of them, you can definitely tell that they are proofs. Just like in $50 rolls, you can, same sort of thing. A lot of times you can tell. I was going to say they are out there, because Copper Owl said that he just found one, and I have found, since I started doing quarters last year, keeping track of them. I didn't do them all the time, but 10 out of 17 boxes, so a 0.6. Proof 7 out of 17, so 0.4. So it's one of those that if you combine them together, it's about a 1 out of every 2 boxes you'll find a proof or a W. Some boxes I find a W and a proof. Like this one, the one I had the other night, also had a W and a proof. And it had 2 foreigns in it also, so for this box to keep on par with the one from the other night, it has to be need 2 foreigns. Hey, Tim Evans. What would have really been nice is if that proof was a silver proof, because then we'd be giving away our 5-ounce copper round. So for those that have come in, my bounty for tonight, well today, because I've still never in my life, it's not like I opened hundreds of boxes, but I mean last year I opened only 17. But I opened some from the year before that, and out of all the boxes I've ever opened, never have found a W silver or a silver quarter. So now, hey BH. What'd you end up with that last night? I think when I looked it was 463 or something. We found a W, but man, look at this thing that I found. I showed your graded buffalo one that you had, because that thing's just a beauty. I love the toning on it. It's like a copperish chocolate color. If you're newer in here and haven't been to BH's channel, he's almost to 500, and he'll be doing a giveaway on that. And if anybody wants to post their channel link, it's !ME. As simple as that. !ME. Ended up with 456. Okay. I was going to say, last night when I looked, it was, I think, 453. So I was like, oh, we got over 450, but... There you go, BH. Pin that comment. You're very welcome. I know you're good at shouting out my channel and stuff. And can anyone see you? If they open their eyes, they should be able to. That was Cooter, the other white meat. So I don't know, are you in vertical chat, Cooter? Or the vertical live? I'm trying both ways, eBay, or... Yeah, it's weird because like Streamlabs, I'm not doing the dual through Streamlabs, but I can see the combined chat. But in the one on YouTube, they're not crossing over to each channels. So I think the next time I'm not going to do it because it just causes problems. I was hoping with YouTube trying it, then maybe it might have fixed some of that problems, but seems like maybe there's no difference between either way you do it. But you're always welcome to jump over to the horizontal version. And that's where everybody's there and playing games and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess it's not. Couldn't tell under all that gunk if it was one or not. And everybody's saying hi, Cooter. But you probably can't see them because they're in horizontal. Yeah, I was hoping it would fix it so that it would show up in both, but unfortunately it looks like it still doesn't. So if you're in the vertical, jump on over to the horizontal, and that's where everybody's able to chat with each other. Some people jump back and forth. But when I do the giveaways, it probably only shows up in horizontal. So yeah, next time I'm not doing both. Thought I'd try it since it was just kind of a pop-up, see who came, that sort of thing. But yeah, you should be able to go to my channel, go to the see the live, and then choose the horizontal one. Unfortunately, I can't stop the dual stream once it's started. So mods, don't worry about trying to jump back and forth. I'm focusing on the horizontal. That's the one that I'm looking at. So if you're in the vertical, I apologize for ignoring you, but I'm trying to do the chat, look at coins, switch between screens, and keep it all straight. Yeah, there's a lot of things on. Actually, I had one on live chat and one on top chat, so now I put both of them on live chat, and now I can see the same thing. So maybe it was because it was in top chat and it wasn't picking up the other side of the stream. Don't know. 71D has a DDR we can look for. Come on, silver. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Including this one, 17 rolls. I love it when they just kind of roll off my desk and I have to go hunting for them later. That's what I like to do, is crawl around on the floor looking for coins I've dropped. Said DHC sarcastically. And since my son didn't stay up and went to bed, he got up way earlier than me and my daughter, because my daughter wanted to stay up and wasn't tired, so I said, okay. You know, it's like, it comes around once a year, there's no school. So my son came in and said, Dad, can I make pancakes? I said, I don't care. It's like, I've always told you could cook. So he made pancakes. And then when my daughter woke up, a little bit after she woke up, she wanted pancakes, and so she wanted to make them, so she had my son go in there and help her. And she made pancakes with his supervision. Like my son, I've showed him on the griddle, the temp, like on that, it tends to run hotter than you actually set it for. So if you set it for, like, say 375, it's more of like 400. So I have told him, set it straight up pancakes or special. Basically straight up, but food coloring added. But he's made grilled cheese and stuff like that, and it's like, you know how to make the stuff. I always try to have my kids help me cook. Even if it's as simple as, can you crack the eggs for me? Supper time. Alrighty. Have a good supper. Yeah, I learned, cooking with my mom. So I believe in helping them learn as they're younger so they can get better as they get older. So it's one of those things, it's like, I like to cook. I'm not the best baker because I'm one of those that I'm usually not following directions. Because with cooking, you can just throw some of this, add some of that. In baking, it's a little harder to do that. I can still bake, but it's not my favorite. Like, I would rather cook or grill than bake. But I've made like cinnamon rolls and stuff and have taken them to work, and everybody just kind of goes absolutely bonkers. And they don't even take a ton of time. It only takes like an hour between starting the dough and when you put it in the oven. And a lot of them, you know, you have to let it proof, and then you roll them out, and then you let those proof, and, you know, sometimes you have more proofing than anything. And this, it's literally like no proofing. And they still are fluffy and yummy, and I always put extra cinnamon in mine. Just like my snickerdoodles, I have to put extra cinnamon in the dough itself, not just roll it around in the cinnamon sugar, because I like to have it in the dough, and it makes it so much better. And I told someone that in there because they were like, I like cinnamon, but they're never like cinnamony enough. I'm like, do you add it to the dough or just the outside? And they're like, just the outside like normal. And I'm like, add it to the dough. And they're like, that works? It's like, yeah. It's like they were just kind of blown away that there was such an idea. Just like my buttercream, whenever I make a buttercream frosting, it's always extremely fluffy, not super like sugary sweet, because you always have a ton of powdered sugar in it. But what I do is I whip, you know, put some butter in and whip it good, and then add a couple, you know, probably about a quarter cup of powdered sugar, and let that incorporate for a bit, and then add about a quarter cup and let that incorporate for a bit. So what you're doing is you're getting a ton of air in the frosting, and it's not so thick and sweet. I was wondering if someone was gonna bust out some musical notes or something. And a lot of times, because I never follow certain recipes when I like cook, the problem is that I can't replicate it exactly. Like when I make a casserole or something, People are like, oh, it's so good. Can I get the recipe? It's like, I don't have a recipe. I just throw some of this and add some of that. You know, if I'm making something specific, you know, I'll follow a recipe, but a lot of it is just I call it plain, with like spices and stuff. I hate bland food, so I tend to have to remember if I'm making it for like other people, like say a potluck or something, I always have to remember to tone down the heat. Because most people would think it's too spicy. It's like I love Chipotle, but it's hard to find a really good Chipotle that's got flavor and heat. So, like for me, I buy my Chipotle powder in a 1 pound bag. I've had people go, you can buy it in pound bags? And it's like, yep. '69, '68, '67, '66, '70. Guess I don't. And row 4. '83, look for Spitting Eagle. '65 has DDO and DDRs. '70, the same thing. That one's all beat up and horrible anyway, but let's see, the '66 has a DDR. The '68 Denver has a DDR. The '69, oh, that's not Denver, never mind. '69D has a D over D, but that was the '68 Philly, so oops. And the '71 Denver has a DDR. '40 down, 10 to go. So on some of these I'd say guess the year, but the problem is it's not the same back. You know, that is only for that year. That's why it's hard to do the guessing of the years, unless it's one that's, you know, from 90s or before. I wish I didn't have to work tomorrow, you know, just take an extra long weekend, but I have to work. In December, I was just burning random days because I had to use my PTO. I could have cashed it out, but I was like, why should I just work all the time and then just cash out the PTO? It's like, I'm just going to take some random days off. So I started taking, I would be like, I'm going to take next Tuesday off. But now, because at the end of the year it resets, and they only let you carry over 240. So I'll be back. I think I lost like 0.2 hours or something because I had like, I was figuring when I rolled over, it was going to be like 240.2. So I lost a fifth of an hour. But last couple of years, I've always just cashed it out because you can cash out up to 80. It's like, no. I'm tired of working all the time and just making the money, and they want me to do all kinds of crap, and it's like, well, too bad. I could be really mean and take it off at the beginning of the month when the first is a payday, and first of the month, because half the stuff comes in on the first, like all the bills. You have to do payroll. I don't do the payroll. I cut the check and then I enter all the journal entries to put it like each department and stuff. So it's one of those that they would even have no idea how to cut a check. I did write a manual up that takes you step by step. Literally, if you can read directions, you should be able to print a check. Because I've done screenshots and highlighted and circled, like, you know, okay, this is where you go, this is what you'll click, this is what you put. But it was like if I took a day off, I kind of felt guilty, and I've gotten to the point where it's like, I don't care anymore. It's like if you can't go, that's very true. Yeah. But I kind of look at it like, if I'm not there, like if I take a week off, you know, go up to the cabin and stuff, and everything kind of falls apart, and it's a mess when I get back, oh well. I'm tired of busting my ass and trying to get ahead when all they do is keep leading me on with a carrot. So we'll see if they're serious. Yeah, I was like, I'll take the 31st and the 1st off. Did that at the shop I worked. 5 weeks of vacation you had to use. I took off Wednesday and Thursday. So work backed up. Worked a rhyming 1.5 and double time for 3 months or weekends. On weekends, and then I retired. Yeah, one of my biggest pet peeves is idiot drivers that don't know how to obey normal basic stuff like roundabouts. It's like, yeah, they don't really teach it, but it's not that hard to figure it out. You know, if you're in the roundabout, you have the right of way. Someone comes into the roundabout, you know, they have to wait for you. They can't just cut you off and be like, whoa, it's my turn. I've seen lots of crash videos where people have just not even yielded and just ran straight through, and then getting into an accident. But yeah, if they actually do what they are supposed to be doing, instead of just talking about it consistently, I'd be more likely to not worry about it. But it's one of those things that if you died tomorrow, your work is still going to go on. Unless, you know, you're the sole business owner and the only one that works. They'll find someone to put you in. It's just like they always want a 2-week notice. But the problem is they don't have to give you a 2-week notice if they are letting you go. They can just say, end of shift, you're done. So that's why it's like, if somebody came along and offered me double what I'm making now and said, the only catch is you'll have to start immediately tomorrow. Okay. Do I want to not give a notice? No. But it's one of those that it's like, too bad. And when I was younger, it was one of those that, you know, I was chasing the title or chasing the, not really prestige, but, you know, the position type thing. And as I've gotten older, it's like, I don't even care about all that anymore. It's just like, I want the money. I don't care if you call me peon, you know, as my title. Head peon. Don't care. Call me whatever. It's like, I'm in it for the money now, not to stay somewhere forever. And but yeah, when I was younger, it was chasing the titles and the positions, and you always end up getting burned in the end doing that. You know, our grandparents and stuff, it was, you'd go to work for a company for 30 years and you know, you'd always be there. But now they can decide they want to have a bigger boat and bigger jacuzzi and end up making more stock for them. You know, their price go up, so let's lay off, you know, 1,000 people, and they think nothing of it. I do know that this has been my sanity sometimes, being able to just kind of go through coins and forget about everything. And at work, I've had it to where because I set the notifications for a half hour to remind me in case if I'm doing something at work and getting engrossed in it, and they'll be talking and they'll send my notification. I said, well, it's 5 o'clock, I gotta go, I got a live stream. And they're like, but I'm like, we can finish it tomorrow. Just like I've been in a meeting and it was like, well, I've got to get this check to the bank or no one's getting paid, so sorry. I get up and walk out. Like a meeting with lots of people, not just my boss. And I would tell them beforehand, you know, hey, if it's going long, I'm going to get up and leave because I got to get this check to the bank. Otherwise, you're not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. I said, actually, I would probably get paid because we do have a little buffer in there in the account, but not enough for the entire hospital. And because my name would come first and I go to the credit union, it would be one of the first to get paid. Well, no silver. I'm just debating when I'm done with this. Do I want to open some more quarters? Call it a night? Maybe one of the boxes of halves? Now with us, it's one of those you have to have a direct deposit. And the way we work is everything has to be 2 signatures on a physical check for us to do anything. Otherwise, it takes two people to do like a wire or transfer money. So we still do physical paper checks for almost everything. You have to have two signatures. Let's see, 68 have to be Denver, and that is a DDR. '69s have to be Denver, which those are not. I don't know why I keep pulling out the non-Denvers. 66 is a DDR if it's a Philly, which both of them, of course, are. '71 is a DDR, and that thing is in nice condition, so let's pray that it is. Nope. It's like, why can't you find a really nice one like this that has like almost no wear? Thought maybe that was going to be a die crack or something. But I'm putting in my one to see if it upgrades. 65s and 70s, DDRs and DDOs. That would have been a nice one to have, but sometimes on those really nicer ones I do take an extra minute or two to look at a few extra spots, but I think that's just a little bit there. I'm not seeing it. Well, out of that box, it was a W and a proof. Man, that is like way ultra deep. Sweet. Yeah, just those two. Let's see. Should I keep going with some quarters or some halves or just call it? The oldest find was a 65. Thank you for reminding me. So, because we did not get any silver, so 65. We had VMC, Captain Vic, JC, think that was it. JC, New Marshall was off. BMC was right on. Well, it was off. Captain Vic got both the drink and the year. Probably. Let's do... Hey, Renee and me. Type in wheel if you want on the wheel. Hey, Vincent. Anybody else need on the wheel? Type it in if you haven't already. Okay. I got 34 names. Oh, Gatita. Anybody else? I was going to say we added 15 names. And while we're at it, we'll also do the Gawal right here. I'll throw Maple Leaf on the wheel there. All right. The wheel is Maple Leaf. Congratulations. Let's see. It means you were on there at least twice. You were on there twice. So that's the one I can send you. And that one, the numbers got off somehow, I think. I don't know. But I can go through them again like usual. I've got to find my flips, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to stick that very nice one in the plastic flip. Exclamation GAW if you want to get in. Hello, Robert. Exclamation GAW for our stream giveaway. Let's see if it counts down again. Okay. Good luck. Pick a winner. David. Congratulations. We've had a couple, I think, first-time winners tonight. Roy Hathaway, I believe, and David Gersh, hopefully. You guys need to email me, dadhuntscoins@gmail.com, and send me your username, the name you want it addressed to, and address. You're very welcome. Maple Leaf, I've got this one here is the one. I've got a whole roll of those, so got plenty. Get that in a flip. I try to only handle them by the edges. So that is the one that I have. Some of those may be outdated. I think 24 is gone. I'm not sure. But like a 29 and 30, it's the front and back, so I don't know why it's that way. I must have grabbed an old one or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Which one, the bar? I've got that bar, or I think I have a different one on there. So the two copper bars I have are the Buffalo or Liberty. The back's the exact same. I think I have one left of this one and then quite a few of those. So if that's the one you were talking about, let me know if you want the Buffalo or the, who was that, St. Gaudens or whatever it is. On the Buffalo, I've got that many. St. Gaudens, I think that's the last one. Whatever you want to call her. And then I've also got nope, actually I have a couple more of those. Some of the other ones I've got are Walking Liberties. Peace dollars. That Indian one. They are 5-ounce dragon rounds, and I haven't got them yet. I got plenty of Buffalo. I figured I'll just kind of run through them since I've got a couple new winners. More Indian heads. That one. Peace dollar. Piece. Lots of pieces. And then yet the others. Got a colorized eagle. Got a Don't Tread on Me. I've got a colorized Bitcoin. I've also got non-colorized Bitcoin. I have a couple bass fishing. Hey, Jimmy. White-tailed deer. Mexican Libertad. Pirate coin. Fear the Jackalope. Trump chicken. Let's see. I have a Vietnam War veteran, a couple Air Force, Winchester 73 rifle, Men in Arms, Safety in Numbers, Apollo 11, USA, One Nation Under God, USS Constitution, Happy Halloween. You get one of my copper rounds, so I'm just kind of going through some of the ones that I have that aren't on that list. Abominable Snowman, Jersey Devil, COVID-19 2020 pandemic, Titanic. So I have a list of, well, not a list of all, but a sheet like that. So you have like number 1 is the top is the front, the bottom is the back. And I think this is a little bit outdated. Number 2, the top, the front, and underneath it's the back, etc. So I can send that to you. Or like I said, I'm kind of going through some of these, and I got some of these like Seeded Liberty kinds. I've got a Lincoln Wheat Penny, not the VDB ones. Mercdine. I want to say St. Gaudens. A Morgan, more Buffalo rounds. I do really need to get a list, and then Ben Franklin, some more of those. I've also got the Ice Age. Surprise you? Okay. That works too. As I say, I've got all kinds of ones. See, I've also got Donald Trump. And I've got the one where he got his ear shot off. So I'll go through and see which one would be best. I just show a lot of them just because, like, some people want certain kinds, or you know, some of them don't want political kinds, some of them, you name it. So I'll go through and look. And let's see. So I've got that. I will find one and get that to you. Just make sure you email me with your name and address and everything. The Dragon one is one of my 5-ounce ones. It's not here yet. It's down here. Got 3 of those coming. These are all my 5-ouncers. That the ones in a little bit grayer are the ones that I have not got yet, but they're on their way. The other ones I've got plenty of. Some of them I only have one. Some of them I have 16. So I do sell those. I sell the rounds. I sell all that. Alrighty. Interesting. I now have the ability to do separate wheels. Interesting. Alright, so just need email with your address and stuff. You and Roy and Steve Wolf still hasn't. This is 1-1. 1-1. That was Monday. 12/29. Maple Leaf, I'll get that to you. Jimmy, I've got a couple. That's for VMC. Larry Downing said hold it for a bit, which I can do. Cool. Email sent. Sweet. It's weird because it hasn't come through. Usually it's like as soon as it does. That wasn't it either. So let me do. So I'll watch for that email, but so far nothing's come yet. And usually it's like right away. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Got it. Can I get a... Okay. Yep, I can do that. I've got a couple different ones, but otherwise I can just surprise you with one of them. And I will get... Yep. Okay. Like I said, I've got a couple of them, but I'll look at them. And that will probably, I'll try to get it out tomorrow. And what I do is, just so you're aware, I tape them in a blank card. So for example, I'll just grab this one since it's out. And then I would tape that. And then I tape the edges shut. And then I put it inside the envelope. And then I tape around the edges because I've had a few get stolen, like someone had cut the edge off. So I've put tape on them and that's solved it. So it's a little overboard on tape, but a few cents in tape, not a big deal. So that's what you'll be looking for, and I'll get that all done up. I do have other stuff for sale and things. I will be streaming on Monday, 5:30. That is for VMC. VMC wanted the first hunt of the year, so I've got that scheduled. But yeah, just hanging out with you guys and I'm thinking about it. I really need to get a bigger desk. I keep saying it, but I haven't. Alright, got that one, got that one. I think that's the only ones I need to send at the moment. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, it was last minute pop-up, but there you go. I am still working on trying to get everything set up for my... Yeah, you're very welcome, David. If you make sure that bell notification is marked, you'll get notifications for when I set up my live streams. I usually do it either the day before or the morning of. And like I said, this next one will be Monday, 5:30 Mountain. I always do Mondays and Thursdays usually. And so that's Mountain time. So you're in, I think, somewhere. You're probably in Central, I'm guessing. Hunting Southwest Ohio on tonight, 6:30. So that's in 10 minutes, depending on where you're at. Eastern, yep. So it'll be 10 minutes. And there you go. So thank you all. Appreciate the support. And like I said, even though it wasn't like really a planned thing, I was kind of bored. I figured I'd bring people along if they wanted. There you go. Happy New Year. Have a good year. Stay safe. And that's about it. And if you haven't already, checked out BH Ringer's giveaway video for 500 sub. That's pinned at the top. And again, if anybody wants to put exclamation me, if they haven't already, you're welcome to. That will get the any link. I do try to make sure I sub to anybody that asks for it, so... Hey, Pacific Coin Hunter. Just about to close up shop here, but I will be streaming Monday, usually Mondays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Mountain. I do nickel box hunts for people. A lot of it's in the description, so you can check that out for more information. But yeah, there you go. You guys are great. I appreciate you. And check out Hunting Southwest Ohio's multi-channel giveaway. We'll see you. Good night.